Serving their community is who they are because they love where they live. REMAX 3D Real Estate is proud to bring you Heart of Greenville, a video series dedicated to celebrating all the wonderfully great things about Greenville, Texas. On every episode, Dennisha Denney will share Greenville's story through the stories of people who call Greenville home. This is Heart of Greenville.
Hey y'all, I'm Dennisha Denney, your host of Heart of Greenville, and today we're sitting down on the third floor at the landing at the Landmark on Lee Street. And our guest today is our very own superintendent, Miss Sharon Boothe, who happens to also be the first female superintendent at Greenville. How are you today, Sharon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
Thank you so much for agreeing to sit down with me.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I have to tell the story about how I asked you.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so you and I were in Rotary, and we've seen each other, but we've never really had like a real formal conversation. And so the other day, we were at Shattered Dreams on the last day where we were doing the trial, and we're on the third floor of the courthouse. Right. And we're in the ladies' room. And I have to say, I might have just waited a minute so that I could actually formally meet you and introduce myself to you and talk to you and then invite you on the show. Right, so thank you for still saying yes, even though it's in the ladies' room.
Yes. Then we just do whatever it takes, right? Wherever it takes.
Exactly. That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad to actually get to sit down, and I really want to get to know you and get to know your story. So kind of give us a little bit of your history. Like, how did you get to Greenville?
Okay, well, coincidentally, we came through Greenville every weekend because I had grandparents in Miller Grove. So I still have aunts in Miller Grove and in Cumbie. So this has always kind of been my home. And so we turned right at McDonald's and, made that 69 trek down to Miller Grove every weekend to see my grandmother. Wow. So it appears home to me already. I feel very much at home. But I had the opportunity to come with Dr. Liggins 5 years ago. As his deputy superintendent. So that got me to Greenville. And then, like I said, it just felt like home. And there was just no reason that I couldn't think of any reason why this wouldn't be called my home today. Mm-hmm. And I had the fortunate grace of the board that they saw that I would be a possible candidate for superintendent. So 7 months ago, almost to the day, they awarded me superintendent of Greenville ISD. And you're right, first woman in Greenville. Isn't that crazy that it's taken this long?
I know, right? But I'm so glad you got here.
Definitely.
That's so awesome. I've heard wonderful things about you, and so I'm so thankful that we have you here. And I actually love the fact that you were already here, and so you already had kind of the lay of the land of the community. And man, what a trail you guys had to blaze through some very difficult years through the school district. So what was it like going through that? And when you walked in the door with Dr. Liggins, did you know what you were getting into?
We had no idea. I mean, and I say we because we went through that 4 years. I will say this. We've known each other for 18 years. So we've been together for quite a long time. So we've been awesome. A we for a while. But so when we got here, we knew we loved Greenville. We knew, we were impressed with every campus, every principal, members of the administrative team. And then the shock of the budget came to fruition, I guess, about 4 or 5 months into his tenure. Wow. But God prepares you, and we believe we had some other situations that were similar, but at a high school level. So we were ready to just dig in and make it happen for kids, and that's always been my focus, is that it's all about the kids.
Yes, absolutely.
And we have great kids in Greenville, you know that.
We do.
We really
absolutely do. Oh man, through the Shattered Dreams program and getting to interact with so many of the students and teachers and parents, and it's such a great school district. And I help with the Interact Club with our Rotary Club, so I get to kind of interact with students there too. And there have been so many times that I'm like, I wish the community could really step in and really pull back the curtain and see how amazing our kids are at GISD. And it's just, and the teachers,
it's an amazing team. We made that our slogan this year, Team GISD, because the parents, the community, the kids, the teachers. I mean, without each other, we wouldn't be who we are, and everyone pulls together. It's really great.
They really do. Well, it starts at the top.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm so thankful you're continuing to carry on that legacy for us.
Thank you.
So how did you get into the industry of teaching? Were you a teacher before? Or?
I have a very different story.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I started in the business world.
Okay.
I worked for Mary Kay Cosmetics for 18 years.
Really? Like for corporate or as
Corporate.
a sales rep?
Mhm.
Okay.
Headquarters, and then I got a transfer to be the first woman vice president in New Jersey at their distribution center. So,
Really?
and I have to say, I remember Mary Kay saying, "Finally, a woman that broke the glass ceiling." So
I love that.
it was awesome. So I was up there for.
So did you have a personal relationship with her?
We were right there together. So it was
Oh.
really amazing. She was an amazing woman.
Oh,
She impacts
incredible.
us still, things that she did and taught us.
Yes.
We still live today,
That is so incredible. How did
pretty
you get to
amazing.
work there?
Well, I lived in Euless.
Okay.
That's where I graduated from Euless
Okay.
Trinity High School. So went there, went to UTA Arlington. And so it was just right around the corner. So
you
I
just,
had
applied for
exactly,
a job
and
and
had the opportunity to do that. So
That
was
is
nice.
so cool, which
Yeah.
ultimately took you to New Jersey to
Took
break
me-
that glass
took me
ceiling.
to New Jersey, and then from there I moved to Bell South Mobility, which was the second cellular phone company in the United States, but it was in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh.
So lived there a couple of years, and then had the opportunity. I told you I have a weird different story.
I love it.
Had the opportunity to move to Scottsdale, Arizona,
Oh, my.
to open a cellular phone company in South Texas. So think about that. So the owner liked Phoenix better than he liked South
Yeah.
Texas. So we were there for 3 years, and then we sold that company to T-Mobile at the
yeah.
time.
Oh,
And
wow.
so at that time, I decided it was time to give back to all the things that had happened positively to me. So I decided to change careers because I had a business degree
Okay.
and become a teacher. So,
Oh,
so
that's a big change.
Big difference. But, had a lot of blessings. Everywhere I've been, it's been amazing and still continues to be. And that's what I say. As long as I'm having fun, it's a great world. And that's what I'm really having fun here in Greenville.
That's awesome. Okay, so why teaching?
Again, I thought that would be a reason to give the best way to give back to our future, because I've had the opportunity to be at several corporate that showed that we need to make sure we're taking care of our kids and growing our kids effectively.
Now, did you have children also
Mhm,
at that
I
point?
did.
So were they school age when you did that, or were they already grown?
They had graduated. It's one.
You
It's
have one,
one.
okay.
So I moved him to New Jersey. I moved him to North Carolina. He graduated from North Carolina, and then he decided that was at 9/11. So he decided to join the Marines.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
he was in the Marines for 8 years. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
You tell him thank you for his service.
Yes, I
That's
will.
awesome.
I appreciate that.
So what was it like raising your son and being in the corporate world and having to break through the glass ceiling? My mom worked in the corporate world in the 80s as well. And so her story is very interesting of what she had to go through to get to those higher levels. So what was it like for you?
Because Mary Kay had done it, I didn't realize what a big deal it was. Because, like I said, she was so inspiring. Everything you heard about her is who she was. So when it was a distribution. It was vice president of distribution in New Jersey. So that was a man's job, really, right?
Right.
Quote, unquote. So it was...
Yeah, because you're dealing with supply and and shipping it out and all of those things.
So
Did you enjoy that? Is that what you enjoyed, like kind of that supply chain management? And
I enjoyed the environment.
Okay.
So the employees were great. They welcomed me with open arms. I mean, it was just a good, uplifting environment, and it just made sense to me to want that job.
Want it, yeah.
So it felt great, but I didn't realize what an accomplishment it was as a woman.
as a woman, yeah.
So-
Were you ever treated differently? Like, could you feel that?
Never.
Okay,
Never.
so it wasn't as hard of a path for you.
Definitely
to do
wasn't.
that.
Definitely wasn't.
What's something that Mary Kay's left with you? Like something maybe she personally said to you or taught you, like personally, that you kind of still think back to.
I still remember that day when she sent me off to to New Jersey, when she said, "Finally, a woman that broke the glass ceiling." I mean, isn't that powerful to think?
Yes.
Because here's a woman that did break every glass ceiling in the world.
Absolutely.
Started with $5,000 to build her company, and the women that she had influenced. So that just warms my heart. It really
Yes.
does. So I would say that's the one quote that comes to me.
And it's like that stuck with you because here you are
This
again.
many years, yes. This many years.
You're still doing.
yeah.
She'd be so proud of you.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. It just kind of started a trend for you. for doing that. So,
knowing that there's no work, there's no can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do what your passion or your heart leads you to do.
Right. I know, and I always say, if you want something, you'll figure it out.
You're right.
You know, and you just have to figure it out. It
all
may
in
not-
all in time. You got to be patient.
Yeah. Exactly. Was it hard raising your son though, doing that?
It
Being
was.
in that corporate world?
I mean, I think back now, I feel like I probably cheated some of his time. He waited at school sometime late for me to pick him up.
Yeah.
Luckily, he wasn't an athlete, so I didn't have, the games and stuff like most parents do. He was in the band, but he came out great.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He turned out fine.
Yeah.
So did you apologize for that mom guilt that you felt
I
later
have
on
done
in
that.
life?
I have done that, but
Yeah.
we're kind of best friends, so it doesn't. He
That's
doesn't make me
awesome.
feel guilty. Let
That's
me put it that
good.
way.
That's good. My kids are like that too. I ask that because I do put my own guilt on myself.
Yes,
For
we do.
just being in business and being a woman in business
Yep.
and doing that, you feel torn all the time between your kids and your career. And so my kids are like, "Mom, we're fine."
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
Okay. I'm like, "What are you going to come back and tell me I messed up on?" Like, let's fix it now before you leave
Yeah.
instead of you telling me 5 years from now or 10 years from
Exactly,
now.
exactly.
So where did you start teaching first?
I started in Grand Prairie. I taught there for a year, but I was driving from Ennis. So that was a really long drive.
That's a long drive.
So the second year, I got to Corsicana.
Okay.
So I was there for 5 years. And then I went back. I went to Mansfield for a year. So I've taught kindergarten through 5th, and that was pull out. And then I taught 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Oh, wow.
I've taught 7th and 8th algebra. And then I was dean at the high school at Grand Prairie. So I went back to Grand Prairie.
Okay.
And then I came here.
Oh, so how did you meet Dr. Liggins?
We started in Corsicana together.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So
I actually sat down with him too.
Yes, yes.
On Heart of Greenville, and I really enjoyed my conversation with him. And it's been probably at least a year now since we had that conversation, and so maybe even longer than that. But it was such a great conversation with him, and he just came in and just did such a fabulous job with what he was dealt. And I love that you guys carried that torch and carried it on. So
Thank you.
what do you ever miss teaching?
Oh, I do. Yes, that's what I keep saying. I'm going to donate a day a week to do it, but it's like something comes up. But I really would like to do that. But I do start my day at campuses every morning.
Oh, do you?
So get to see 3 to 5 campuses every morning. So I get to see the kids. I get to interact with the adults and the kids, and so that's my charge. That's my heart, and I have great stories to tell about my visits in the morning, so it's fun.
I bet. That's probably the highlight of your day, getting
Definitely.
to actually see their faces and hear their stories and see
Definitely
their progress.
see that
and-
learning, see that interaction, enjoying each other. It's great.
So what inspired you to want to be a superintendent?
I think really and truly Dr. Liggins saw something in me, because he's the one that said, you need to go get your superintendent certification. So I did that about 10 years ago. So did I think it would happen? No, but I wanted to not necessarily. I'm glad it did. But I
Yes.
wanted to put myself in that position that if it came up, it was the right time, right place,
Right.
then I would want to position myself to do it. So.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you did that, and we're prepared for that. And
Thank you.
so what does a day in the life look like as a superintendent? Like, what is your role?
Well, every day is different. That's the good news, because
Yes.
that keeps variety in it. So, like I said, I do start the day. I deliver birthday cards to every employee.
Do you really?
So that's how I start. So, this morning was 6:05, a bus driver had one. So it's just nice to see those surprises. So I start my day that way. And then I move into either meetings, update meetings for construction, meetings about parent concerns. So, I meet with parents, I meet with teachers. Teachers' dreams, I meet with them to just kind of talk about what their next plans want to be and kind of how that falls in the organization. I try to make myself very, very available to parents, students, and teachers. So that's why it's every day is a little bit different. Just depends
Right.
on who wants to talk to me and
That's really
different.
great. But, I mean, I think it's so important that that as a parent, you feel like you have access to the leader and
Definitely.
can be heard. I think that's so important.
Definitely.
I love you deliver birthday cards. That is the sweetest thing. I love
fun.
birthdays. Like, birthdays are a big deal to me.
Yeah.
And so I love that. That's so sweet that you do that.
It's amazing how it touches their heart. You know,
Yeah.
you think the little things.
Because
but
how many employees total are there in GISD? I mean,
Over 900.
how do you do that? Oh, my goodness.
It's good. I mean, it's because we have 9 campuses, so
Yeah. So
it's
you're,
my morning.
that's incredible. What do you do if their birthday's on the weekend?
I do it on Friday.
Okay. Okay.
And like for spring break, I did it on Friday.
Okay. Then you do all those. That is so precious. I love it.
Fun. It is fun.
What is it like working with the school board?
I have an amazing school board, and I know people probably say, "Oh, yeah," but I mean, we're called a team of 8, right? And so those 7 members, they have my back. They tell me what I need to do better. They give me good feedback.
Good. That's good.
But they're very supportive and they're very affirming when appropriate, and they truly have made a difference in this school year. For budget-wise, for our teachers and for our students. They made some great decisions before we knew COVID was going to be over for a little while.
Right.
So even though there's 7 different personalities, they all have the same goal as caring for kids and doing what's right for kids. And so to your point, they wanted to carry on what was started, make sure that we don't give up and make sure that we're doing everything right for kids. So they've been a great relationship.
I think when you have that to measure back to of what your purpose is for
Definitely.
the kids, it helps you step back and think about, okay, I mean, because everyone has a different opinion or a different idea about when you think about what's the best for the children, for the students, for the teachers. I think that
You're right.
really helps you keep things into perspective. And
your-
and it's good that
it's
they're
your
all
target.
different personalities.
Definitely.
It'd be boring if it was the same.
You're right.
So
You're
I
very
think it brings
right.
balance. So
You're exactly
that's
right.
a great thing.
Yeah.
So what are some of the projects that you've really enjoyed? Do you have a favorite project that since you've been here that you really love?
Well, we have the dual language program at Bowie that started at kindergarten. So we have 22 kids that speak English and 22 that speak Spanish, and they're teaching each other. And we're starting, next year will be our 5th grade class. Will go up. So they're biliterate by 5th grade.
Wow.
So we're excited about that. Early college is so fun. We're having our graduating class this year.
Oh, awesome.
So our first graduating class will graduate 2 weeks before they graduate from high school at Pierce Junior College. Isn't that amazing?
That's so cool. I love that. I think that's awesome that we have that. So kids can go ahead and keep going.
That's
and
right.
Get done faster to get where they're going.
And we have the relationship with Texas A&M Commerce that says forever aligned. So the kids do, even if they didn't go through early college, they can go to Commerce and finish their schooling.
I think that's awesome. I love too that Lions just
I
carries
know,
over.
how convenient was that, right?
Yes, I know. I think that's so cool. We take that for granted that Texas A&M Commerce is just right there.
It is.
You
It's
know?
an amazing. I'm sure you've been on the tours.
I graduated from there.
Okay, so you know how amazing
Yes,
it is.
yes.
Yes.
It was a long time ago. It didn't look anything like it does today, but it's such a great college.
It is,
And
it
we're
is.
so fortunate to have it right here. So I love that y'all created that campaign, Forever a Lion.
Yes.
And it just carries over and helps keep our community educated.
True.
And that's something when businesses are moving here, they really do look at, like
They
our
do.
education level when they're deciding.
They really do.
Do we have the workforce that's at the education level that they need for them to bring their business here? So
Yes.
there's, again, pouring into at the base, as the children are growing, so they were ready for the
Definitely.
workforce. And I love the career and technology section too, all that.
We
with
have
the-
77 offerings for career and technology.
Really? I
That
didn't
ranges
know
from
that.
welding to culinary to floral design to auto mechanics to auto body. I mean, not to mention our world-class robotics team.
Yes.
But we have so much more than just robotics as well. So
Yes.
that's exciting.
And I think that's great because college is not for everyone. And so I love that it's like we're not trying to put everyone through the same
Exactly
round
right.
hole, and giving options and helping students be successful.
Yes.
And we need all of those trades.
You're
So
exactly right.
That's
Exactly
it's wonderful. And I did graduate from Greenville High School in '97, and so I love seeing where it's going.
It's grown,
and
hadn't it?
How much it's grown, and I know there's more coming, and
Yes.
working on growing. So
Yes.
do you want to talk about any of that? Is that anything that you're ready to talk about?
Well, I mean,
I know it's still in the works, and there's like a committee together, right?
the committee has
for the
come
bond.
together and made a recommendation to the board, and the board has voted to bring the bond election forward to the voters on May 7th.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so,
Good.
so we're excited about that because we do know as we grow Greenville, that would be a great opportunity to get our campuses where we need to be to ensure that we have classes for those kids that are coming in.
Yes, absolutely. Where can people go to find out the details for that?
It is on the website, so
Okay.
it's greenvillisd.com.
Okay.
And so there's a Bond 2022 icon on the
Okay.
right-hand side of that first page.
Great, great. Well, I want people to be able to know where
Sure.
they can go and check it out,
Thank
and
you.
get the details for that, because I do think it's important. It's
huge.
important for our community. It's important for the kids we have today, but it's also important for our future
Definitely.
generations. And I mean, the growth is coming.
It
I mean,
is
it's coming
coming.
whether we like it or not.
You're
It's
exactly
going to
right.
be here. And so it's so important we plan ahead.
Definitely.
For that. So,
Definitely.
well, best of luck on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Well, we're on Heart of Greenville. And so let's talk about for a few minutes, what are some of the things you love about Greenville?
You know, my first thing that I will say is just the whole community. I mean, you can't walk anywhere without people speaking to you, without them making you feel like they know you. And the partnerships, during COVID, one thing that really happened is that we all pulled together. I mean, no matter what our need was, from water, because we wanted to turn on or had to turn off the water fountains, to clothes. I mean, the contributions and the dedication to helping our kids never ended. And so I think that's the most powerful part about Greenville. I mean, people think, Greenville, why?
Yeah.
Why not Greenville?
Right.
Come see us, and you'll know that it's an amazing city. So, but the people are what makes it amazing.
Yes, I totally agree. That was my answer when I was asked that question one
Good.
time when I was being interviewed. It's like, it's the people.
It is.
And it's like, man, how do we package that up? And so that's kind of why I wanted the show, Heart
yeah,
of Greenville.
that's
So
good.
we can spotlight the people that make up this community, because we have so many incredible people here. And it's hard to describe that. Some cities are like, oh, we have this or we have that. But here it's like, no, it's the people, it's the community.
It's a full package, right?
It's all of it,
It is.
yes.
It is. You just have to come visit.
Yeah.
30 minutes and you're win your heart away.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. When you have families looking at the school and looking at Greenville, what are some of the things you tell them about Greenville? Like why they want to choose to be not only just at GISD, but also in the community?
Well, because of the community involvement, that's our first statement of if anybody even wonders,
Right.
So the support from the city, the economic development, that partnership with the school is exactly proves that anyone would be foolish not to come, right?
Right.
So, and then to show our schools off. If you walk through our schools, you have a warm, inviting environment. The kids are talking, they're interacting. You can see learning through the halls. So tours and just, and our CTE building, that facility, Bell Helicopter awarded our kids some 3D printers 2 weeks ago.
Really?
And he said, I am drooling about this building. There are so many bigger districts that don't even compare a second to our facilities. So, and businesses that come in say exactly the same thing. Why you kept such a good secret here, right?
The best kept secret.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
So it's just small enough to be quaint, but big enough to be very progressive.
Yes, very impactful.
Very impactful.
Absolutely. And I think, I do see the marketing campaigns, and I love the billboards and things like that to remind the community about the school district and the things that we have to offer and those sorts of things. So,
Yes.
Okay, so when you go to dinner or you're going to go out in the community, where do you like to eat?
Well, good question. I'm not a huge eater, so when Landon's is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yes.
The new restaurant where Ain't Just Past
Oh,
was.
yeah, the Fado Amano.
Yes. I have
Such an
trouble saying
interesting
that
name. It feels so weird to say it.
Yeah,
I
but
actually
you rolled
ate
it
there
right
last
off.
night.
That was good. So we've
Well,
been there.
I was there last night, to be
Okay.
fair.
So already been there, so that it's a great place. So
Yes.
then any of the chains are still good. Nice to have El Phoenix here for that Dallas,
Yes.
feel, but that's probably the three that I would tell you that I visit.
You really like.
Yes.
Well, and the Fado Amano is actually opening up the Fiddle and Fork
I
at the
heard
Uptown
that.
Forum, so I'm really excited.
I forgot about
to
that. That's
try
next
that
month,
out.
right?
I think, April, yes.
April, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I
yeah.
can't wait to see it, and
Yeah.
because I really I love their food.
Sure.
I've eaten there twice now.
And the
so-
customer service, and they're they're Greenville folks,
Yes,
aren't they?
they are, and they're just on top of
Yes,
it. And
yes.
so, yeah, it's great. I love seeing the things that are going on downtown too.
It is.
So,
It's
do you have
good.
any favorite like community events that we do that you enjoy being a part of?
Well, the bike ride
Yes.
last summer, that was July, right? And
Let's see. I
it's-
think it was September.
September.
We
It
do it
seemed
right after
awfully
the
hot.
heat. I know. It's
So-
supposed to be when it cools
Yeah.
off, but it's still pretty warm in early September.
We're doing that again, and then of
Yes.
course the car shows are fun. You
Oh,
know,
yeah. Do you like classic cars?
yes. I mean, I
Ah.
just like to look at them. You know, they're just fun to look at. David Gish, you know,
Yes.
one of our employees. You know, his whole collection inspires me to say, "Wow!" Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So those are probably the two events. Arbor Day, I understand, is a thing to come to, so that's coming up.
Yes.
So pretty excited about
I know
that.
they give away Keep Greenville Beautiful, sends out all of the trees, and
So that's
and
fun.
we've planted several of those.
Yeah, that's
with our
nice.
kiddos.
Sure.
So I think it is a great program that gives back to our community.
Yes.
Too, and it makes it more beautiful with our trees. So.
And of course, my biggest events is everywhere there's kids. So like
Yes.
tomorrow night is our middle school choir program. And then after that, it's our high school program. So keep pretty busy on our events.
I
So
bet. Do you ever get tired? I mean, I'm just thinking about, okay, you hand out birthday cards, you meet with parents, you meet with students and teachers, and then you go to the after school events. Like your days must run from like 4 a.m. to 10 p.m.
some days do, but it's, you know, I'm having fun. And so I'm sure once I lay, no, I'm not sure. Once I lay down, I'm asleep. but through the day, I'm very energized.
Yeah, I can tell you have a lot of energy, which is great. You need that.
I
To,
do.
to get through everything and
yeah.
do all the things that you need to do. I'm going to ask you one more question before I ask you the final
Sure.
question. But what's been one of the biggest challenges or the hardest thing for you personally since you've been in Greenville?
I moved my mom down here to the nursing home the day they closed down for COVID. So that was March 2 years ago, right?
Yes.
So then she went through 6 weeks, 8 weeks of being by herself and just phone calls, and she couldn't always answer the phone, couldn't connect. So that was my biggest challenge. So then I moved her in with me in May of that same year, because she lost like 40 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And then she passed away last July, but she was
sorry.
older, so I mean I get it, and she's in a better place. But that's probably really and truly that's been my biggest challenge is personally,
Right.
because again, for work-wise, everything's really going really well,
Right.
and so that's
Right.
probably been my biggest. That is my, for the last 5 years. That's been one of the crosses to bear,
Right.
but it's part of being a child
It
to a
is.
parent that's aging, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what a blessing though that she got to move in with you.
Very.
I mean, I bet you
Very.
cherish
I do.
that time.
Would not have taken for it.
Yeah, that was a precious. That was really a gift.
It was a gift.
To get to
Yeah.
have that time with her.
Exactly.
to the
Very true.
end.
Very true.
So holding on to those memories.
Literally, yes. Very nice.
Yes, and that is a lot. I mean, you're leading the entire school district, but your heart, you know, is.
But she was very proud of me, so that's, I mean, you know how moms are.
Yes.
So she was probably my biggest cheerleader.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. You had a couple of really great cheerleaders, Mary Kay and
Yes.
your mom, and lots
Yes.
of people that poured into you
Yes,
and
yes.
helped get you to this point. And
Very
this level.
blessed. Very blessed.
Absolutely. Okay, now I'll ask you your last question.
Okay.
Okay, so you told me before you wanted to pick 6. You still want to stick with 6?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Number 6. What is your claim to fame? What's something nobody knows about you? Some kind of claim to fame.
Claim to fame. You know, I want to say I do have grandsons, 17 and 14. And I had the opportunity when my son was a Marine to be able to really get to parent, even though his mother was there, my oldest grandson. So that relationship and what we developed together, even now as he's 17 years old, I will tell you that the love between us is very evident, even though he lives in Ohio. So that's a personal claim to fame.
Yes.
I did feel accomplished at Mary Kay because that was something that hadn't happened before.
Yes.
So that would be my second one. And then the third one, and I know you only asked for one, but
No, I love you. Go. You have as many as you want.
the cellular phone company that we opened in the Valley sold, and that was really an accomplishment. That was from white paper, literally nothing, to a sale to T-Mobile. So really proud of that I
big
had the
deal.
opportunity to be a part of that team of 4 that did that.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was amazing.
That's incredible, and especially going through all those negotiations and
Finding the money.
yeah, that's incredible. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, and then your next one is being the first woman
Yes, thank
superintendent
you.
at Greenville ISD.
Yes.
So
Again, I struggle with thinking that is even true.
I know,
Because why
right?
in 2022 did it take that long for a woman superintendent? But to that point, the ladies, the young ladies at the high school, I really do think they realize that if I can, they can.
Oh, it is. I mean, for sure. When you see another female leader, it inspires you, you know,
Definitely.
and it makes you know, okay, if she can do it, I can do it.
And they really connected to that. And that makes me happy.
That's awesome. I think that's great. And I think we always need it in both directions. You know, I think males need to see, you know,
Sure.
male leaders in certain roles and female leaders in other roles. And I think to show everyone they can be
Absolutely.
whoever they want to be,
Very
you know,
true.
and to believe in themselves.
Exactly.
But it does, seeing someone else do it is always an inspiration. So,
Exactly.
thank you so much for being such an inspiration.
Oh, thank
I
you.
really enjoy getting to talk to you and get to know more about you. Thank you for sharing your story. I love your energy and your light.
Well, thank you.
So,
Thank
so
you.
the next time we're both at Rotary together, let's sit together.
Okay, we will. Good.
All right, well,
Okay.
Sharon, you have a great day and continuing to blaze that trail for us.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it very
You're
much.
so welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Heart of Greenville. This video series, which is designed to celebrate Greenville, Texas, is spearheaded by REMAX 3D Real Estate.